Today, back to our second installment of Storytime, which I'm really excited about. I came out, is Instagram on? Let's see. It says I'm on. I came out here to get ready, and everything was drenched outside. That rain last night was insane. So I had to take a minute to dry everything off with a towel. I'm out on my latio, which is what I call our Lanterman patio. So I nicknamed it our latio. And it's one of the favorite spots in my house. So I like to come to you for Storytime Live from our latio. I will say it's a little bit of a mess. We're undertaking a project on our patio, which I'm excited to reveal here in a couple weeks. But we had a vacation that we took in Arizona this last spring, and the house there had such a great patio. And I told my husband, I want to do some of this to our patio. So we're in process. Last weekend, my husband was out of town, and I took on the project of stripping, power washing, cleaning, primering, painting our cement patios. So I think I'm still sore from that. But anyway, thanks for joining us this morning. I was going to do our story time 2 weekends ago on Mother's Day, and I thought of a fun idea just to talk about moms. A lot of looking at real estate, they want their opinion of mom or dad, which is always very typical. But one story kind of stuck out. I was like, what can I do to highlight moms? And I didn't go live last week because my mom came over for Mother's Day. We had brunch and we were drinking mimosas. I should have gone live with my mom because she is a trip. That would have been really fun for all of you to meet my mom. But I didn't do that. We just enjoyed our morning. But I was thinking back to relationships and times that I've had buyers ask for their mom's help in purchasing a property. And one stuck out the most out of all the transactions I can really think of. And it was this last fall. I was contacted from a buyer who was interested in a property that I had for sale in Whisper Creek in Arvada. And her husband was a dentist and was relocating here from the East Coast. And they were looking for real estate, and they really liked Arvada. They really liked the Whisper Creek location, close to the foothills. I'm from Arvada, native here, and you don't have to sell me on Arvada. I'm a big Arvada girl. So, you're perfectly situated between Denver and Boulder, and everything just is so convenient, and I just love it. So that house ended up going under contract. And also we learned that our buyer was actually going to be put at an office out east. I believe it was in Aurora, is where his office was going to be, or near the Stapleton area, Northfield. So we totally shifted our focus from an area that my buyers felt really comfortable with and really used to the idea of, and we completely took a 180 and went to the east side of Denver, to the Aurora, Stapleton area. And we talked over the phone, and I feel like I had a good idea of what they were looking for, but I really didn't know them well by any means. And so she had a new baby, and she said, we're in a pandemic. I'm nervous to fly with the baby anyway, number one, because who wants to do that? And secondly, I'm breastfeeding, and that just feels like a huge undertaking. I'm not really on board with jumping on a plane, flying to Denver, and trying to find a house. So she said, I would actually love if my mom could come out and help me find a property. And I trust her completely. And I think she really knows what we want and what we like and what we don't like. And I'm going to ask if, she can be out there for me and kind of be the boots on the ground. This mom is exactly who I want to be as a grandma. She is so fun, so spunky, so sweet. She knew exactly, I think my daughter would like this one. I don't think her husband would like this one. I think they would like this yard. I wouldn't like the inside. And I just think that's really neat. So we ended up spending an entire day. The mom and I, we went to lunch. We saw about 10 different properties in several different neighborhoods. We ended up really narrowing in on the Stapleton, and they bought a row home in Stapleton. And I think they're very, very happy there. I think the mom did a wonderful job. So I just think it's really cool when we ask for our parents' input, and the mom played such a big role in this transaction. And I love that the daughter trusted her completely. I think that's a special bond. So happy late Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I will keep this one kind of short. I do want to update everybody on the market. We are seeing a shift, so I'd like to talk on that just briefly. We put 4 houses on the market this week, and the experience between those houses has been really eye-opening. I first noticed a shift about 2 weeks ago, and it was just a hunch like, that felt different. That felt like instead of 50 showings this weekend, that felt like 15 showings this weekend. Something feels a little bit different. Seasonally, every year, we actually have a slight cool off in the summertime. More houses come to market, and therefore buyers have more options. And when buyers have more options, they're not as desperate to go all in on one specific property. And that's definitely what we are experiencing right now. So it's really kind of interesting. These 4 properties, 3 are in Arvada for this week. 1 is in Thornton. The one in Thornton is a lower price point, $430, detached single family house, beautifully done inside. My clients bought it in 2017. At that time, it was a really well done flip. And now they are moving on. They're relocating. My other sellers are a condo in a new build community in Arvada called West Town. It's a live work community that's extremely popular in Arvada. It's on the west side of Arvada, so it gets you to the foothills really quickly, easy highway access, and just really good location. And then the other 2, one is in my neighborhood, which is also a neighborhood that I farm, which is a real estate term, but it's called the Landing at Stanley Lake. And it is a great property, beautiful inside and out. 3 bedrooms upstairs, beautifully redone master bedroom, main floor with, amazing hardwood floors, great backyard, just a really great property. And then the last one is a smaller property still in Arvada, and it is a great yard, great floor plan, great location, Ralston Valley School District. Needs minor details and updates, but it has been fascinating to see out of those 4 properties, specifically the 3 in Arvada, what buyers are looking at and how many showings. One listing had 38 showings this weekend. That's the highest. Normally, that was like standard for any listing a couple weeks ago. One property had as little as 4. I think we had maybe 4 or 6 showings was the lowest that we had. 2 of the properties are under contract right now. The other 2 are not. We are anticipating offers on all 4, so it's still a great time to sell. But buyers are shifting a little bit, and I think it's because they all of a sudden have a few more options out there. Inventory has been up the last couple of weeks. There's been a couple hundred more homes each week on the market. So buyers only act desperate when they're desperate, right? And so if there's more options coming, and they're seeing it start to be a trend. Oh, well, next weekend there might be more. I know I like this area. I know I like this neighborhood. I'm going to wait because there might be more properties next week. I'm seeing a couple list every week now, whereas in the wintertime and the early springtime, we had 1 every 3 weeks. So all of that to say, I think I know it is still a fantastic seller's market. 100% great seller's market. Good time to sell. I also know it's not going to be as hot, as crazy as it was 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. So moving forward, my sellers that are coming on the market now, our strategy is going to look entirely different. We're going to scale back a little bit on pricing. We're going to push a little harder on open houses and marketing, get those showings. I would like to have more pre-listing time rather than throwing it in on the MLS on Wednesday and Thursday and just counting on the weekend to do its job. I think we need to be a little bit more diligent. So our strategy is shifting a little bit, definitely noticing a shift. The question is it a seasonal shift that we always see, or is it the start of a slowdown? More people are getting vaccinated, more listings are going to start to come to market as people feel more comfortable with buyers touring their homes, the idea of going to look at properties. It could be the start of a shift outside of normal seasonal activity. So all of that to say, food for thought. I think all 4 of my properties are going to go under contract this weekend. My sellers that are already under contract are very thrilled with the price that we were able to get. At least I think they are. Good prices, good terms, still competitive offers. It's still a great time to be a seller. but I'm sensing a little bit of a cool down. So just be aware of that. You won't hear about it in the media for another few weeks. They're always several weeks behind. But I'm here to tell you, boots on the ground, we're experiencing a little bit of a slow. So anyway, thanks for listening to another story time. This one is a little bit short and sweet, but shout out to all the moms out there. I hope you guys had a wonderful Mother's Day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Next weekend, we're going camping with friends, so I won't be live next weekend, but the first weekend of June, I'll be back, and I have a humdinger of a story to tell you then. So thanks for following along, and hopefully grabbing a cup of coffee with me on a Sunday morning. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Talk to you soon.